While many fans have been dissecting every frame of the latest GTA 6 trailer, searching for clues about what the blueprints for Rockstar's vision are, they have actually been hiding in plain sight all along. Between 2018 to 2024, Take-Two Interactive has very quietly been filing several patents which reveal technologies which are so advanced that they appear to be impossible to implement within the current generation of console hardware. The new technologies that Rockstar has filed patents for have been refined via years of development, and they are about to reshape what we think is possible within open world gaming. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down all of the technical patent documents which reveal Rockstar isn't just making another Grand Theft Auto, they are actually creating a complete revolution in interactive entertainment which will leave every other developer scrambling to keep up. So the backbone of any believable open world game lies in the inhabitants or the NPCs. Rockstar's patent number US 1168485 represents a massive leap from the puppet show NPCs that we've gotten used to in GTA 5 and the previous entries. They're not just improving the NPCs' pathfindings or implementing smoother walking animations, they're actually trying to create digital citizens which have the ability to really think. The traditional approach to NPC behavior relies on rigid decision trees. If player does X, then NPC responds with Y. This unfortunately ends up being unrealistic and very predictable, and the end result is ultimately a lifeless NPC. Rockstar appears to have overhauled the NPC system entirely, as they've implemented what they call real-time contextual decision-making. NPCs are now able to process multiple environmental variables at the same time. These changes will affect the traffic density in the game, as well as weather conditions, the time of day. NPCs will even have their very own simulated memories of previous encounters. So imagine this, you cause chaos near a school, traditional NPCs would trigger their panic animation and they would run in a predetermined direction. But this new NPC system will mean that a parent picking up their child might remember you seen committing crimes before. They will recognize your face and immediately call the police while positioning themselves proactively near their kid. A nearby shopkeeper might lock their doors and dim the lights, having learned from previous incidents in the neighborhood. Honestly, these systems sound so realistic, and the implications for the police responses are staggering. Police units will communicate through realistic radio chatter. They will share intel about your location, vehicle, and your known associates. They'll also set up coordinated roadblocks at logical checkpoints rather than magically spawning behind you like in past Grand Theft Auto games. Police helicopter units will also relay information to ground teams, creating pursuit scenarios which feel genuinely tactical rather than being scripted. This newfound NPC system also extends to civilian drivers who will now exhibit authentic road rage against you. They'll take shortcuts during traffic jams, or they'll pull over when emergency vehicles are approaching them. Each NPC essentially becomes a mini AI agent with their own goals, fears, and decision-making processes. This is going to transform GTA's Vice City from a movie set which is pre-scripted into an actual living ecosystem. Next, we have US Patent 1162078, and this tackles perhaps the most challenging aspect of character realism, and this is making digital bodies that move like actual human beings. Rockstar's solution is a modular animation system which constructs movements on the fly rather than relying on playing back pre-recorded sequences which have been motion captured. Traditional animation relies on massive libraries of motion capture data, and if you want a character to limp, you need someone to motion cap a limp. Want a different body type to limp, you need multiple motion caption sessions for each variant. Rockstar's new approach to animation uses what they refer to as data-driven animation blending. This essentially teaches the game engine to understand the physics of human movement and to adapt it contextually. The GTA 6 system will analyze a character's current state across multiple parameters. These are physical condition, emotional state, environmental factors, and carried objects. A character shot in the leg won't just play a generic limp animation. The system calculates the wound's location, severity, and the character's pain tolerance in order to generate a unique movement pattern. Running uphill while carrying a heavy bag, while the engine factors in weight distribution too, as well as the terrain angle and stamina in order to create appropriate movement animations. There is also the retargeting technology, which will allow a single motion capture session to now be applied to characters of vastly different body types, from bodybuilders to elderly individuals to children, with the GTA 6 system automatically adjusting joint angles, stride length, and muscle tension in order to match realistic biomechanics. Now, this technology has some interesting implications for GTA Online. This opens up some unprecedented levels of customization with your characters. Player height and build won't just be cosmetic changes, they'll fundamentally alter how your character moves throughout the world of GTA Online. A tall, athletic character might vault obstacles effortlessly, while a shorter, stockier build might need to climb or find alternative routes. Combat animations will also feature a ton of variety, as they'll be based on reach and muscle mass of the character, making every player's experience unique, at least in terms of the animations. One of GTA 5's most persistent limitations was its beautiful but very hollow world. There were so many amazing buildings, but they were just outward facades as they had inaccessible interiors, and it would often break immersion for players whenever their curiosity would meet an invisible wall that they couldn't walk through. Rockstar's procedural generation patent promises to shatter these barriers entirely. This is patent number 10987-587. This system works by analyzing contextual descriptors for each building. This means its architectural style, the neighborhood demographics, building purpose, as well as the narrative requirements of that building. And then it will generate appropriate interiors in real time. A rundown motel in a crime-heavy district will feature water-stained wallpaper, broken furniture, and evidence of illicit activities. On the other hand, a high-end apartment in a wealthy area will feature expensive furnishings as well as personal belongings, which suggests that it belongs to affluent individuals. Rockstar isn't implementing random generation here like the caves of Minecraft. Each space tells a story through environmental storytelling. Office buildings will have functional layouts with cubicles, meeting rooms, and appropriate technology. Restaurants will also have kitchens, storage areas, and seating arrangements that will make operational sense. Each seemingly mundane location like laundromats or convenience stores will have logical layouts, appropriate inventory, as well as signs that they are being visited daily by NPCs. With potentially 70% of buildings becoming explorable in GTA 6, players will gain access to countless hiding spots during pursuits, as well as opportunities for activities like burglary or urban exploration. The world of GTA 6 transforms from a series of corridors connecting mission markers into a genuine living space where every door might lead to an insane adventure. For a procedurally generated system to work like this, resource management remains critical. The system generates interiors only when needed, and they can vary detail levels based upon importance, ensuring performance remains stable while expanding playable space exponentially. Then we have US patent 1119232. This addresses one of GTA Online's most persistent frustrations from players. These are the jarring transitions between single-player exploration and multiplayer gameplay. Rockstar's session management technology promises to eliminate loading screens for people who want to play online. This will create a fluid multiplayer experience that feels organic rather than mechanical. So no longer will it feel like you're abandoning one playstyle and entering an entirely different one. This new multiplayer system for GTA 6 operates through dynamic session merging, monitoring player locations and activities in order to intelligently connect compatible game instances. So driving through the map of GTA 6, you might encounter other players naturally, not because you selected a lobby, but because the system determined your paths would create interesting interactions. Friends can drop into your world seamlessly, appearing at realistic entry points like airports or train stations, rather than materializing from thin air. The new multiplayer session system provides the technological foundation for roleplay servers that could support hundreds of simultaneous players without the clunky server transfers that currently break immersion. These multiplayer sessions will mean that we'll have player bonafide environments, ongoing faction wars, or community-built economies which evolve even when you're offline. Following this, we have US patent 11534-688, and this is Rockstar's solution to an impossible challenge, which is rendering unprecedented visual visual detail without melting gaming hardware. Their smart rendering system prioritizes computational resources based upon player attention, scene complexity, and narrative importance. You can see how this technology has been implemented within the recent trailers of GTA 6, where every visible surface tells a story. Watch Jason's climb sequence. Sweat doesn't just appear as a texture overlay, as sweat droplets are formed which roll along skin contours before dripping onto surfaces below. Also, his tricep muscles flex and release based upon actual arm movement, creating subtle anatomical details previously reserved for high-end CGI. The game engine of GTA 6 will constantly analyze your viewing angle, distance from objects, and focus point in order to allocate rendering resources intelligently. The beer bottle in your immediate vicinity receives full physics simulation, liquid sloshes realistically, condensation forms on the glass surface, and light will properly refract through the liquid. Meanwhile, a lot of the background elements in GTA 6 will use simplified but very convincing approximations for how they are displayed. Also, environmental density will reach staggering levels without destroying performance. Trash scattered across sidewalks isn't just decorative, as each piece exists as a physics object which will respond to wind, foot traffic, and vehicle displacement. Puddles reflect surrounding architecture with proper distortion, and lighting adapts dynamically as weather conditions change throughout the day. Rockstar wants to create believable physical spaces where your brain stops questioning the reality of what you're experiencing. When environmental details behave exactly as they would in real life, the line between game and reality blurs in ways that we have never seen before. Rockstar's advanced physics patterns introduce environmental responsiveness which extends far beyond visual spectacle. Rockstar's new fluid simulation systems handle everything from character perspiration to dynamic weather effects, as it creates a world that reacts to the actions of the player and natural processes in the environment. Surface deformation technology means footprints will persist in the sand and mud, tire tracks scar dirt roads, and bullet impacts leave lasting marks on appropriate materials. These aren't just mere cosmetic details. All of these changes will affect gameplay. Tracking enemies becomes possible through visual evidence, while your own movements will leave trails that observant NPCs may be able to follow. Weather systems integrate with both NPC behavior and environmental physics, as rain doesn't just change visibility, it affects vehicle handling, causing NPCs to seek shelter or drive more cautiously, and it creates realistic water accumulation in low-lying areas. Extreme weather events like storms may also flood certain districts temporarily, opening new navigation routes while closing others. Lightning responds dynamically to environmental changes and player actions. Shooting out streetlights creates pockets of darkness that affect both NPC behavior and stealth mechanics. Vehicle headlights will also cast realistic shadows and illuminate particles in fog or rain. Indoor lighting adapts to the time of day, while Rockstar's competitors are focusing on resolution increases or improvements in frame rate. Rockstar has fundamentally rebuilt the foundational systems of open world gaming for GTA 6. The industry will spend the next decade attempting to reverse engineer and implement similar technologies in their own games. I'm really impressed by looking through all of these patents that Rockstar has filed. These patents reveal Rockstar isn't just developing another game, they're architecting the future of interactive environments. Which of these patents that Rockstar has filed excites you the most? I'd love to know all of your thoughts in the comments. If there's anything that I've forgotten to mention about all of these systems that Rockstar has been working on, then let me know by continuing the discussion in the comments. And lastly, thank you for making it to the end of this one, and I cannot wait to see you in my next GTA 6 video.
A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.